Well, hello there, Sagittarius. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're doing your February general tarot reading. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance. And of course, we'll take a look at any advice from Spirit. So let's get into this. Let's take a look at what is on the horizon for you, Sagittarius. All right, so let's see. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. Wow. Okay, so we just had Pluto moving into Aquarius on Saturday. After 15 years of being in that Capricorn energy, this is like a breath of fresh air because you know, Sagittarius, you being a fire sign, okay, the Capricorn energy of the last 15 years has held you down. It's kind of like there's been confinement in your life for the last 15 years through like rules or regulations or family mindsets or, you know, just people in your life that held you back, would not allow you to shine your light brightly. And I love this energy. I put up a special reading on Saturday about for each of the zodiac signs, and I'll have that linked at the end of this. There's also a free reflection journal activity in there to understand for you in particular how Pluto really and truly impacted your life. This energy of being confined, of everything that you tried, you could not get anything to really work out in your favor. And now we've all stepped into this Aquarian energy, which is so much more expansive. So Capricorn made us look at all the details of our life, and Aquarius is kind of like that dreamer, right? The star card. It's like shooting for the stars, and it's such a breath of fresh air for you. And it's almost like you feel like you're getting your power back because suddenly things are starting to happen for you. You know, it's kind of like, have you ever been in that situation or a period of your time where you're just like bumping up against one obstacle after another? And Sagittarius, you are a strong sign, right? You have a lot of inner strength in you, but it's kind of like every single time you try something, it's like one obstacle after another, and you pick yourself up, you pull yourself up by the bootstrap, you give yourself a big pep talk, and you're ready to go out there and go after what it is that you want. And then something else happens. You know, for me, it was just one tower moment after another for the 15 years, right? It was just this energy of, is anything ever going to happen that goes well in my life? And of course, there were little things along the way, but the big picture of it was like, is this like what I'm going to be up against forever? And now with this Aquarius energy, I'll tell you, it's just kind of like, I literally woke up on Saturday almost in tears because it was like I could feel that Capricorn energy. Capricorn is, you know, the devil card in tarot, and nothing against Capricorn, but it's that energy of being attached or feeling burdened by something in our life, or the people, the situations that just keep coming in. So I love this energy. It is that breath of fresh air. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I can see the finish line. I can see the sunlight. I can feel it on my face again, right? Yes, and you have Seahorse Spirit watching. Wait, okay, so I'm going to say we're going to go to the tarot, but there's this energy where it's kind of like, I remember when I was a kid, I didn't get sick very often, but I remember if I was sick at all, the day, like when I was a kid, my mother was a nurse. So when you were sick, you had to stay in bed when you were sick. And then when you were well, you had one day before she would send you back to school, right? You had to be well a whole day. And I remember just bouncing off the walls because I had been confined to bed. My mother's theory was, if you're sick and you have to miss school, you have to stay in your bed, right? And it's probably why I was never sick. But anyway, you would stay confined to your bed. Then you had one day out of bed before she would send you to school. And it would be like, I would get out of that bed and I would be bouncing off the walls. It was like, oh my gosh, I want to play with my dolls. I want to read my books. I want to go outside. I want to blah, 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 right? And she used to say, I remember her as a child saying, you drive me crazy when you're finally well because you have all that pent up energy. I feel like that's the energy here. It's kind of like you've been confined for 15 years by Capricorn. You've been sent to your bed, right? It's literally like you have to stay in bed, Sagittarius, for 15 years. And finally you get that day out of bed, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to go do it all, right? You feel this almost like lift of energy, right? You're lighter, you're happier, you're more joyful, you're wanting to go out there and experience life. But Spirit's saying, okay, now wait a minute, before you have a relapse, right? And you have to go back to bed. Just calm down. Just wait a minute, right? You don't have to go out and do it all on the first day. Yes, because, you know, this card comes out. It says, watch and wait. It's the energy of waiting for an opportunity. It's almost as if all of this time while you've been in bed, the divine has been working behind the scenes, getting things to come into fruition for you. And it's kind of like, it's okay. You can just take a deep breath and kind of reflect and relax after the last 15 years, right? Just kind of like that energy. Really, please check out that journal activity. It's totally free. And I just really feel as if there's something there that, like, when you allow yourself to sit and kind of reflect about the last 15 years, there's almost this energy where you kind of like really get to see what you learned during that confinement and how you can take that wisdom as you go forward. Yes, this is truly wow. Okay. So I'm going to sit with this just a minute because you have something big is coming out here. Wow. Okay. I have 5 major arcana cards here. So let's take a look one by one with all of this. Okay, so you have family, and then you have the death card. This is Pluto. This is the Scorpio energy of transformation. Pluto rules Scorpio, and Pluto is all about transformation. And think about it. I've been talking about Pluto, and then here comes Pluto, right? Pluto in Capricorn really was that energy of helping you to see perhaps the rules and the regulations, the confinement perhaps that was in your family situation. So that could be the conditioned beliefs that you grew up with, how they have impacted you, how you have shed those, transformed those beliefs, okay, over the last 15 years. So all of the kind of situations that have gone on in your life in the last 15 years have kept coming back perhaps to something that has to do with your family or the support from your family or the support you give your family and you feel like is not in balance, right? That hasn't come back into, yeah, this is an energy of seeing the secrets. I feel like there could have been secrets in your family, okay? Secrets that were, Pluto will shine light on anything that is hidden, right? Scorpio and Pluto are all about the secrets and having them come to light in the illuminating light of the moon, okay? And we have a full moon in Leo on the 25th, so in a few days. It's about shining light on perhaps how the energy around your family, the support or the lack of support of your family has affected a lot of your decisions about the way you feel about yourself, the way that you feel like you are powerful or not powerful, depending on the situation. So you could feel, this is kind of interesting, extremely powerful in some situations, Sagittarius, but there's other situations in your life where you may feel like you're a little child. You know, we have the Page of Wands here. Like you're a little child, like you're a novice. I also feel like there's an energy here of reflecting. It's almost like they're showing me 2 different worlds. You may feel like you're 2 different people depending on the situation. You're in your career and you feel very powerful. You're a leader. You're an innovator. You see things in the big picture. And then you go to a family event and you feel like nobody supports you. They don't see your light, right? That's what it is. There's other people in the world that are seeing your light, cherishing your light. But the thing is that at home, and once again, it could be your childhood home, right? There are people that don't see your light. It's kind of like almost this energy of trying to convince them that you have this light, or that there is something you could be coming into knowing, revealing a spiritual gift that you have of some sort. Stepping into this energy of wanting to share your love and light, and yet at the same time it's completely against what your family believes, or your friend group, or people in your life that are really important to you. And what you're doing here, I love this. This means coming into this Aquarian energy, you have really worked on transforming the energy around the conditioned beliefs that you received from your family, and seeing how they have either held you back, right? The family rules, the family beliefs had confined you to bed for some time, and allowing yourself this instance of jumping out of bed. You finally have had the opportunity to get out of bed, but it's kind of like, okay, now where am I going? What am I going to do? It's almost this sense of a release, right, of the burden of what your family feels about you. And I feel like with Pluto moving into Aquarius, all of a sudden you could have disconnected to why that matters so much to you. You could be just like, all of a sudden, I realized that the other day. I was like, people that are no longer in my life, but I still could not kind of move away from that energy of why they didn't accept me, right? Or didn't cherish me, or didn't love me, right? All of a sudden, the last couple of weeks, I'm kind of like, it's just not even part of my mindset anymore. It's like it's kind of dissolved, okay? And I feel like that's exactly what you've done. You've transmuted any energy around people in your life that don't see your loving light. You're kind of like releasing that need for them to either, or the need that you may have had to understand why they couldn't see it. Because here's the thing, I think you understand, you have this intuitive energy of knowing that there's new people coming onto your path that do see your light, that are going to bring this sense of power back into you. I feel like you already feel your power coming back, but it's almost like there's an audience, or there's a group of people that are coming onto your life that even ignite it more. And the reason is that the people you have been dealing with for some time, since childhood, okay, have been dousing your light. They've been throwing water on your light. And now all of a sudden you're moving away from people that are putting out your light, throwing water balloons at your light, right? And going towards people that also have light and love in their hearts, and see and recognize the love and light in your heart, and want to be part of it. And here's a really cool thing. It's almost like they're showing me like you're all coming together, this new group of people that maybe you haven't met, but I guarantee you are coming onto your path. Like you're meeting them, and because you're all bringing your light together, it's even a larger, brighter light. Can you imagine how beautiful that would be if you were in a group of people that they recognized your light? What would happen? Your light would even grow even brighter, right? You would be excited about your light instead of hiding your light because you're afraid that people are going to ridicule you or try to dim your light. So I feel like for the last 15 years, you've been protecting your light. It's almost like holding it back because there's been people around you that didn't recognize your light. And maybe the only way that you could protect your light, right, was not to share it with them as much. And now you're finding somebody that cherishes your light. But it's kind of like this energy where you have to wait. You have to create that void. So interesting. I was reading about that this morning, and you know, I understand that universal law that we have to have a void, right? But the really cool thing is that you have now created a void, or are in the process of creating a void, allowing yourself to move away from people that don't see your light, to create that void. And the universe always wants to fill the void with something that's better for us, always, if we allow ourselves to just watch and wait. And I think that that's the thing. You may be getting out of one situation, it could even be a romantic situation, but before you jump into another situation, this is what they want you to do, is to take a look a little bit. Here's your high priestess, right? To garner the lesson out of this situation. I feel these people have really, in a way, brought you a lot of more inner strength, because you had to learn how to protect. You've had to learn how to love your own light, even when the people around you didn't. Yes, I feel like for some of you, you've ended some relationships, and perhaps because out of a sense of you had to end these relationships in order to protect your own light, to protect your own love for yourself and love for the collective. Wow. Yes. So I think that right now, one of the things is that you're trying to decide how to move forward, right? But don't make that decision based on conflict that you've had in the past. It's about allowing yourself to rest if you need to just wait, to listen to your intuition, to move forward in a loving way. Sometimes we have to create that void so that we can truly do that healing. And since it's a general reading, you're all going to be on different parts of that healing journey. But sometimes we have to have that void so that we can really heal our own heart and be good with ourselves, clear out the clutter, okay, even the mental clutter that other people have brought into our life, so that we can move forward and see the light and love in other people. Yes, it's a beautiful energy, because look at what you have here. You have the loving woman, right? You have the Empress, and then you have the Moon card. You're stepping into something that is totally beautiful, loving, nurturing, so different than what you have experienced in the past. But it's almost like you have to allow yourself this little bit of time. You have to watch and wait and really get back into this energy of loving yourself and surrendering. The Moon card is all about surrendering to the path ahead in a loving way, instead of carrying the baggage of what has happened here, because you have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. But you don't want to jump out of bed after being ill, right? And then just run out there, because what's going to happen? You're going to have another tower moment. Okay, you're going to run into, it's just like if you've been sick for a long time and then you jump out of bed and you go back to school too soon. Okay, that was my mother's theory. You were just going to have a relapse and you were going to be back in bed. So she always gave you a day to rest. And here's your day to rest. And it's maybe more than a day. Maybe it's a week. Maybe it's a month. For some of you, it could be even a year, right? If it's been, the more difficult the past has been, the more time you want to take to make sure that you're leaving the past in the back. You don't want any of that energy in your void, because then all you'll do is attract in the same type of disappointing love. So I feel like a lot of you are kind of in the void, right? It's about clearing out the clutter, the mental clutter, allowing that beautiful Aquarian energy to come in, allowing the sun to shine on your face, right? Of seeing things in the big picture instead of, I feel like for some of you, you've been looking really deeply at this, all the details. That's that Capricorn energy. Now it's kind of like looking at the big picture, imagining what it is that you would like as you move forward. And when you do, look at this, you have an offer of love coming in that is just beautiful, right? So it's worth the waiting time, right? It's allowing the universe. The Moon card is allowing the universe, surrendering to the universe, putting it out there with love what it is that you're looking for, but then allowing the universe to work its magic, right? And knowing it will come. And knowing it will come and being patient and working on yourself in the process, right? It's not like you have to do completely all of the healing before the new will come in, but it is about allowing yourself this time to really nurture yourself and to wait for this new love opportunity. I feel like this is either a new romantic relationship. You have the Judgment, you have the Strength card. Yeah, this is beautiful because, we're in a Leo year, 2024, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8, which is the Strength card. It's understanding that it's about the inner strength. The inner strength is calm, it's graceful, it's not ferocious like a lion, right? It's like the little girl is nurturing the lion. There's a part of you that may feel like instead of being the seahorse right now, you want to be the lion. You want to just go out there, you want to go out and get new love. You want to go out and get a new job or career. You're just like, yeah, I'm over the healing process. I've been in bed for long enough. But here it is. It's kind of like going forward with this inner strength of patience, of knowing that the universe is working on your behalf. All you have to do is be a little patient. And in the meantime, it is about continuing to build the life that you want, building your career or building, your healthy new version of yourself, working on yourself, nurturing yourself, healing yourself, getting to know your inner child even on a deeper level is a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful energy to let you know there is something coming in that is long-term. If it's career that you're looking for, it is the career or the business, the opportunity that leads you to financial wealth. If it's a relationship that you're looking for, it is something that's going to be committed and long-term. That is loving. It is everything that you are wanting, but it's not about jumping out there. It's about staying in your beautiful, loving self, shining your light brightly, and allowing the universe to bring something really beautiful your way. All right, I'm going to leave it there. And let's pull the Soul Truth card before we go. Let's pull the Soul Truth card for you for some final advice. And Sagittarius, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, please check out the link in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Vast vistas, expand your horizons. Yes, I feel like there is something that is coming in, okay? But it's kind of like allowing your mind to travel to the vast vistas before you take action. It's allowing yourself to reflect on what it is that you truly want, because it's just kind of, once again, that energy of, oh, I feel so much better. I just want to go do it all. But when we just jump out of bed or jump out of the jack in box, right, out of that confinement and just start like running around, okay, we're only going to kind of like come into things that aren't really going to be meant for us, for our highest good. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm going out there, I'm expanding my mind, I'm starting to imagine what it is that I truly want for myself, but I'm doing it in a powerful way. Instead of zigzagging everywhere, I'm going to kind of like sit with myself. What does my heart truly desire? And allowing myself to take action going towards that instead of just taking action going towards anything that comes onto my path. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Please check out my Pluto video if you have not yet seen it. That free reflection journal is also linked in that video. And I hope to see you again really soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.